Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok, and feel free to text or leave me a voicemail at 702-551-4445. On with the show. Welcome to this week's show. Our guest today initially blew up on TikTok in 2020 during the pandemic. I normally try to do a deep dive on our guests and scroll all the way to the beginning, but the sheer volume of Andy's content made that impossible unless I had hours and hours to go through. But she covers Vegas in a really cool and different way, from hot takes to musings to green screens to tips to reviews. I've mentioned in the past to others that she could literally walk down Fremont Street and have 20 TikToks in the bag, which would be enough for maybe a week for her. The volume of posts historically have been very impressive, but in this day and age, that's a great way to continue to grab audiences, and TikTok certainly rewards the ones who post more. I love Annie's approach to social. She's not afraid to take risks, try new formats, and I and many can learn something from that. So without further ado, with 343K on TikTok, 188K on IG, and 12K on YouTube, let's welcome Las Vegas blogger to the show.
Oh, thank you. First of all, thanks for having me. It's such an honor to be here. So, yeah.
Yeah, we never see each other anymore.
Rarely. Yeah, very rarely. Because I'm taking a little step back on content creation and stuff like that because, I have other businesses. So, which makes it even more genuine. So I'm really choosing what I really, really, really want to post because I love content creation. But at the same time, if you're not like a social media manager or if you don't have your own agency, I'm going to quote Unlocked on that, the GOAT Unlocked. They think we make money by going to restaurants. We don't get paid by the restaurants, very rarely, unless you're the social media manager or you have the agency. So, and whenever I pick a restaurant to go and feature is because I really, really want to, or I really, really love it, and I really wanted to check it out. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was wondering because I didn't know how you were going to keep up with the volume that you were putting out.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible, I think, to do it for years and years.
Yeah. I love posting. I love showing cool things. I also have a big following outside the U.S., which is huge. Actually, what touches my soul was that I had a follower from the Middle East. The country was during the war at the time. And he told me, I don't think I will ever be able to go to Las Vegas, but just be able to see what it looks like through your page, it makes my day. So I was like, if you can do something beyond yourself, that is huge. There's people outside of the country. We don't know what's going on outside the U.S. Some people don't know. Some people don't know that there's people at war. There's people that don't know what to eat. And putting a light on their faces or their day, it's priceless.
I agree. And it really puts into perspective the minuscule things that we get stressed out about.
Absolutely. Oh my God, it makes it so small. I tell people, if you want to complain about your life, go outside, your bubble. Go outside your bubble because you're going to see that there's people that live at less than $1 a day. It's the unthinkable, and people are struggling with things that are not actually, people would switch lives with you or her or me or whatever, and we see that our problems are actually smaller. And I just love, I post a lot of comedy on my page. The Hoover Dam went viral. I was doing the experiment that, the water
Poured
flows.
water.
Yeah, exactly. But, and people were like, you're filling up the Hoover Dam. So I was like, oh, filling up the Hoover Dam. And that went wild. People were sharing left and right. And I was like, well, if that made people smile, I'm all about it. Yeah.
Awesome. So when did you move to Vegas?
2018. I'm not good with math, so it's probably 15 years ago. I'm going 16. Okay. I know. But time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. It was a complete accident that I ended up in Las Vegas. I was born and raised in Brazil. You can hear my accent, which I used to hate, but it makes me unique. Now I know.
Absolutely.
Born and raised in Brazil. And I had an incident that I was involved in a robbery. I was held at gunpoint. Really thought that I was 21.
Oh my God.
I really thought that day it was over. You had the gun pointing at your forehead and you were like, this is it. Life is over. This is it. So that event was so traumatic, and I got panic attacks, and I didn't want to get out of the house because I thought I was going to get killed every time. So I need to take a break. And United States wasn't a choice for me. I'm like, I feel safe in the U.S. And I came here. My friend chose Vegas because she was a poker player. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do Vegas. 15 years later, here I am. And sometimes, you choose Vegas, but sometimes Vegas chooses you. And Vegas chose me. I stayed.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And honestly, that incident of being robbed and having a gun pointed at my face, I didn't know that would catapult to my ultimate destiny. So sometimes, you think it's a horrible tragedy that happens in your life, but I try to turn that to a blessing. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here fulfilling my ultimate destination. So Brazil, yeah. So people look at me like I'm always bubbly. I'm always joking around and stuff like that. But I've been through some hard stuff, being about death threats and stuff like that. It's kind of, scary in some parts of Brazil. So coming here was a blessing. It was escape, but it ended up being home. So,
amazing.
Yeah, totally unplanned.
I think for a lot of Americans going to Brazil or South America in general, there's the idea of the element of.
I get a lot of how is it Brazil? In Rio de Janeiro, I heard you cannot even have your phone out and stuff like that. So you just got to be careful and just watch your surroundings and, because, I love Brazil. It's my hometown. It's where I'm from. But, unfortunately, when it comes to that, I don't feel safe putting my phone out, and stuff like that. But, but this is the story. And here I am in Vegas. I've had multiple jobs, you name it. Fun fact, my very first job in the United States was as a housekeeper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have so much respect for all jobs, regardless, but housekeepers, the toll it takes on their body, you got to do the bed, vacuum, and all that stuff, it's incredible. You have to be very, very tough to do that kind of job. So I did work as a housekeeper. I was a babysitter. I worked in restaurant industry. I've been to, so many jobs, just surviving. And then finally, I went to luxury retail. Worked at fancy stores at Caesar's Palace. One of them was Louis Vuitton. Love Louis Vuitton, love you. One of the best jobs I had. Oh, wow. Then I moved to another store, which I'm not going to mention the name, but it was also luxury. It was not that good, but it also catapulted me to where I am today. So I had a boss that was very not the best, very micromanaging, very telling people what to do. And I was like, I hate this. I don't like this. I want to be free. I want to be able to request, vacation, just go. I don't have to request for vacation. I just want to be free. And then I switched to another job, which was even worse.
Oh, no.
Sales
as well?
Sales as well. This time was watches. I was selling those $15,000, $20,000 watches, which is crazy. People do buy those things. It's a car, right? So on the watch store, I stayed for...
Was this the one at Caesars?
Caesars as well.
I know the one you're talking
Yes. Yeah. So I was there for 2 months, and the manager was extremely tough, and he said, if you want to go to the bathroom, you got to text me. I still have the text, and I should frame that text because it reminded me I have to text my boss to use the bathroom. I was like, I don't care. The next day I quit. I was doing whatever it took to work for myself. I drove for Uber, which was fun. Very adventurous, so I drove for Uber. And then I started taking content creation more seriously, taking brand deals and stuff like that. So everything, became a blessing.
Amazing. Yeah. So when was your first post on TikTok?
On TikTok, that was probably 2020. Nobody knew what TikTok was. Everybody thought it was a dancing app. But here's the thing. I was already on Instagram since 2016, very part-time. I was doing content creation for beauty and makeup and fashion, completely different from what I do today. And then in 2020, when the COVID happened, I was like, how many more mascaras can I have and dresses? The world is going through crisis. How can I put a light on people's faces? So my husband, which was my boyfriend at the time, we were like, let's go out, let's go eat out, let's get hotels. And this is a way to help the economy. So I started posting about it and completely shift of content. I lost thousands of followers because they were like, why is she posting a dress and makeup and now she's doing a pizza? What the heck is that? And then honestly, I was at 70,000 followers back in 2020, and then all of a sudden, it catapults. Vegas content got a lot of traction because people couldn't get out of their house and everything. So seeing that through a page, it catapults as well. So, yeah.
It's been amazing on TikTok to see the product of COVID and lockdown and how so many like you have just exploded and become mainstays.
It's huge. Like I would do breaking news because people wouldn't know the mask mandate or places that were closed or the limitations of a restaurant, 25%. So I would use that as a platform for people to know what to expect in Las Vegas, or 4th of July, what to expect in Vegas. That pool is dirty. Be careful. Yes, right. The traffic, huge. Like driving to Vegas, try to avoid, the rush hour and plan your routes. Oh, the Tropicana is going to happen. Make sure you are aware of that and plan your route around and stuff like that. So I want to use that more just as a go eat here, go eat there, to more just like, hey, be aware of the traffic or there's a game going on. Mm-hmm.
Which is very helpful because it stuns me the amount of people that get their news from social media.
Yes.
It's true.
It's so true. And I feel like people don't read as much as before. So instead of reading an article in the newspaper or online, they want to see the video, give me the facts, done, okay, bye. So I use that as a platform as well. I'm like, you know what? This is what's happening. The Tropicana, it's going to be a horrible traffic, and I can deliver that in a 15-second video instead of the person just reading the whole article with introduction, media, and conclusion. They don't care about that. Yeah, they just want to give me the facts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the handle. Las Vegas Blogger. It's an amazing handle. How did you lock that down, and when did you lock
I was really surprised it was not taken. So when I was a fashion beauty blogger, it was just Andy Naka, which is my artistic name. Just kidding. Stage name. It's a Vegas thing, a stage name. You know what it is. But I was surprised because I posted about Vegas, and I was like, I wonder if Las Vegas Blogger is taken because, all the other names were taken, and it wasn't. So I was like, I'll take it.
That's crazy because the hashtag... Yeah. Las Vegas Blogger has 111K posts on IG and a whopping 1.1 million on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I'll take it. And it was just perfect timing. It fits the page. So it was perfect because the blogging is more beyond just like places, it's a history. I like talking about the history of Vegas, the culture, the people, because this is what makes Las Vegas, the people, the people that works, in the hotel industry or the lawyers, everything. So, yeah.
Very
Love
cool.
it. Mm-hmm.
So you were putting out, how many posts a week at your peak?
Oh my God. During COVID, I was like at least twice or 3 times a day. But here's the thing. I upgraded my phone. Of the struggle. We're always running out of memory.
Yep.
So I had an iPhone, like 160 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, and running out of memory all the time. So I started purging content to get rid of, the space. Then I upgraded to an iPhone, and now I post like once every other day, but back in the days, like 3 times a day.
Yeah, you still did about 40 times a month.
Yeah.
Some months were way more. Can you talk about your approach a little?
I'm very spontaneous. It's like if I see this a good idea, I'm like, just put it out. I feel like when it comes to content creation, if you plan too much, first of all, it's not as authentic anymore because you put too much thought into it and you just calculated too much into it. But if you just put it from the heart, improvise, it's organic. It's crazy. So sometimes like the most ridiculous posts, like the pouring water thing or the girls walking barefoot on the strip, it's just like true life, no sugarcoating, no BS. I just like, this is awesome. Let me post that. So I don't go to like a huge editing or thought process. I just go with like, I think this is cool. Let me share it.
And it doesn't have to be long.
No, it doesn't have to be long. So I treat pretty much like TikTok. Well, now they prefer long form. Yeah. But back in the days, 2020, 2021, I would treat it as a story, like an Instagram story. So it's like, woohoo, look at that, woohoo, easy. So now, they want to push longer form version. So I'm kind of like going with what, the audience wants, because at the end of the day, I'm here to serve. I'm nobody without the audience, and I'm here to give them what they want to see. And honestly, like this is how I get a lot of ideas too, through the comments. Like if I run out of ideas, like what should I post about, I'll go to my comments, and there's always someone. Can you tell me about the Golden Gate? Not Golden Steer.
So
It's Golden.
Right. So those that don't know, Andy posted a review on Golden Gate, but called it the Golden Steer.
Yeah.
In the video.
So English is my third language. I know the struggle is real. Like, so Portuguese, Brazil, first language. Spanish is my second language, and English is the third one. And sometimes, I switch things. It's like, for example, I was joking with my husband. What's the difference between knocked out and knocked up? It's just knocked, but the up and like it makes a whole difference. It's so confusing. So
Yes.
there were words I didn't know it was bad words, so I cannot say it on the show, but I was like,
can
oh
say it
yeah,
on the show.
can I say it? People were like, oh, you should know that word. Oh God, my mom is gonna hate me, but who cares? Queef. I was like, oh, that's cute. That's a cute word. I had no idea what that was. And then people were joking because I didn't know what it was in English, and Google was not a thing on the phones. And I was like, oh wow, it's a new word. I learned a new word, queef. And people are like, don't say that. And I'm like, what is that? It's like, anyway. So yeah, they used to trick me a lot on wrong words, but yeah, queef. It's a word.
That might be a real.
It's
guessing.
the language barrier was so bad, and when I speak wrong, it's not intentional. For example, the job as a housekeeper, when I decided to quit, I call my manager and I quit over the phone, and I say I fire myself. He was like, what the heck, you fire yourself? What does that mean? But in
Right.
Portuguese, you translate that, you fire yourself. You don't say I quit. Because the verb I fire. So anyway, so I was like, I fire myself. And then he was quiet on the phone for 2 seconds. I fire myself. And he's like, oh, you mean you quit? I'm like, yeah, sure. That's what it is. So yeah, it's hilarious. It's an adventure though. Coming to America with very little English, it made me who I am. Like, for example, the toilet was clogged. I didn't know how to say that in English. Like, toilet, poop, woohoo, up. That's what I would tell the leasing office. How do I say it's clogged? It's a word. Oh, okay. So I would describe a lot of things. But, the journey has been very rewarding. I love it. Love it. It made me who I am. I'm strong, and I take criticism. Which is, speaking of it, a lot of people say that I speak wrong on my videos, that my accent is strong. Learn English. Go back to your country. We get bullied all the time online. It's crazy. But here's the thing. Like, you got to grow a thick skin and not believe what people tell you on the internet. If they don't like my voice, my accent, or my English, my grammar was wrong, I mean, what can I do? Like, I'm still gonna, show love to the ones who actually love. So, yeah.
Can you give me a crazy housekeeping story?
So when I was a housekeeper, I was back in Florida when I first came to the U.S. So I was there for briefly 4 months. That's when I came back to Brazil and I got robbed. But as a housekeeper, there were pubic hairs in the bathroom though before. So not in Vegas, but I know that in Vegas there would be some wild stories. But I've got in, and first I got a knock and the housekeeping and walk in, and then there was a bunch of curly thick hair in the in the toilet.
Sure.
Yeah, so I got my gloves. Yeah, I got my gloves on, and then cool. But
Not an easy job.
it's not. So much respect. Like, my back was hurting for making the bed, vacuuming, and there was a crazy number. Like, they wanted us to clean 6 rooms per shift. There's some other places that want people to clean 12 rooms per shift. That's half an hour. How can you do all of that in 30 minutes? It takes a toll on the body for sure, and mentally as well, because you have that expectation, gotta clean, 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 clean. So.
And you would think a lot of people actually clean their house a little bit.
Yeah.
before
Oh,
housekeeping
trust me.
starts.
I've seen on TikTok some videos that people, they trash the room.
Oh,
and
really?
it sucks because not because I was a housekeeper, but have respect for people's things. Like, when I'm checking in on a room, I'm not gonna leave stuff on the floor. If the trash is right there, just put it there. It takes 1 second, but I guess people don't think like that, It's heartbreaking. So much respect for everybody in the industry. You guys are awesome.
Humans are weird.
Yeah.
Tal said this a while back, that everyone wants to be an influencer, but they can't I mean, can they really put in the time? That's really the biggest issue, right?
Yes.
So
Oh,
where does the
yeah.
motivation come?
Sweat,
for you?
tears, passion. You have to have passion. You have to. Like, if you're doing that for the money, you're screwed. You have to love what you do. You have to love people. You have to love, the scenery, food, culture. And seriously, like, that's what it takes is passion. I love Talls, by the way. Talls. She's one of the inspirations to get me on TikTok. Talls, Vegas Know It All. Like, I remember watching them, like, this is cool. That's what got me on voiceovers as well, because I used to do green screens and other collages and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I started doing voiceovers inspired by them. But being a content creator, you just have to love it. If you're doing that for the money, everything in life, everything. If you just do, so when I worked at Louis Vuitton and the other luxury store, I have met so many rich people, like ridiculously rich, with a black Amex card, and some of them were so miserable. And it's cliche, but money is not everything. So if you can have money, but if you are a piece of shit, or if you are just like, you don't have love, you're nothing. Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the amount.
Oh, sugar babies will come to the store all the time. That was fun. Really? Sugar babies, yes. They would come. Working girls, they would bring the guy, and usually he would have a wedding ring. Yeah, they would be married, but he would be hanging out with the girls. They would pay cash, of course. Yes. So
my first job was actually at Forum Shops. Yeah, I was one of the timeshare people. Mm-hmm. So I would see all the sugar
action.
babies,
Yeah, all the action.
For you to talk with them and
that's a funny story. Like one time I had a working girl come in with this guy completely out of her league. And she's like, I want this. And she was grabbing bags and shoes and everything. So she took it to the register and I'm like, hi, your total is, I don't know, $10,000. And the guy was like, oh, no, I don't think it's a good idea. I was like, and I was staring at him like, are you joking me, dude? Like, come on, like all this work she brought you here. Come on. So she whispered something on his ear. His face completely changed, and he gave me the card. I'm like, I wonder what she said.
Anal.
He face like lights up, and take my card. I was like, wow, whatever she said. She should write a book about that. That would be a life hack or something, because he didn't want to pay for it, but he ended up giving the credit card. So, yeah, lots of sugar babies. Those are the best clients, the sugar babies, the working girls, because they know what they want. They're quick. They have the money. They leave. But it became they will be quick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they will be quick. But like I said, I've met so many people like rich, but they were bitter. How are you? I was like, wow, I thought you had all your life figured out. You have money. So Steve Jobs, multi-billionaire, and that whole money couldn't save his life. I bet that he could probably switch all his money for more time on Earth. So,
True.
Yeah. And I try to have balance in my life. I could just take brand deal after brand deal after brand deal and collect bags, but I want life balance. I don't want to lose myself in it. I want to do because I really love it, because of my heart, not because it's going to put money in my bank and stuff like that. So, yeah.
It's a really weird thing for influencers these days because of all the offers. Mm-hmm. And so navigating through that, and then there's this whole guilt of, am I crazy not to take this money for posting this game app? Right.
But yeah, it's true. But whatever stays on the internet, it stays forever. So, it's very tempting and glamorized. People glamorize us. Oh my God, they make so much money and stuff like that. But the truth is, we work hard. We do. And we put the editing, we put the voiceover, we put thought to it, and we reply to comments as well. It's not just like we just at the pool all day. It's not. So I just really hope that people could see that this is actually a really serious job, Mm-hmm.
So with the partnerships, I mean, obviously you've done some pretty unique ones, but recently you've done Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Raising Cane's, that's the last time we saw
Yes, that was awesome.
So how do you choose which ones you want to do.
I love, like, brands. I love Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm a fan. Since I moved to America, and I've never had a chicken wing in my life, when I first moved to America and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm like, oh, this is life-changing. And working with them, it has been a dream come true. So Raising Cane's as well was also, like, big accomplishment. I have worked with Fox. I have worked with Netflix, which is also huge in my portfolio. And I'm so humbled because it's same. If I would believe what people would tell me, you are an ignorant immigrant that speaks wrong English, I would have never been to where I am today. So you got to just shut down to the negativity and keep going. That's amazing. Know? Yeah, I was like delusional. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it because it feels good. It's fun. It makes people smile. Like, people will come to my videos like, your video made me laugh today. Your video made me smile today. It's huge. Like, I'm not doing this for me only. I'm doing this to make this place a better world of fun, or, you know, some giggles and stuff. But yeah, I've through agencies, I've done Netflix, I've done Fox, I've done some other partnerships as well. Just blanking out, but
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any of mine either.
Yeah.
So incoming, they're all incoming.
Yes,
right.
Through an agency. So I'm assigned with some of these influencer agencies, just like modeling agency. And you have a portfolio. There's a campaign for Universal Studios. I've done that too. So Universal Studios, I need somebody at this certain age or this demographic, and I apply. They accept it. I submit the video, and here it is. Yeah. So that makes it easier when I do it through an agency because when I was a beauty influencer, I have to do a lot of like reach out. So I have to email the brands. Hi, I love your brand. Let's work together. But if you have an agency, and you also almost guarantee you're going to get paid as well because there's an agency in between. So.
Totally. And it's a huge difference between you reaching out to the brand versus the brand reaching out to you. Huge. So outbound, like, I would write like 50 emails a day and probably hear back from like 2 and probably signing with 1. So when you go with an agency, you already have your information there. You don't need to like apply. You just need to, sign up. If they like you, cool. If don't, you don't have to write a whole email about it. So, yeah. Right. And then another thing, we talked about this way long time ago, but you were doing, I don't know if you still are, doing a lot of UGC.
Yes, I do a lot of UGC as well. I'm the queen of side hustles.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So here's the thing. I'm going to quote Paris Hilton. Here's the thing. This is probably not going to be forever. We have kind of like a shelf life or an expiration date. So we got to diversify. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. And that not only comes with finances, but, this. I do that because I love it. But I have an e-commerce store. I have, stuff on Amazon as well. I sell on eBay.
Wow.
I buy stocks. I try to build a portfolio that I can have a lot of dividends. God, what else do I do?
You diversified the hell
a lot.
Out of this.
A lot. It's because I've learned my lesson. When I had the job at the luxury stores, I knew that if I quit, now what? What am I going to do? So that's why I drove for Uber, and I do a lot of UGC. So sometimes you don't see on my page, but you see a brand, I'm like, hey, is that Andrea? I'm like, yeah, that's me. I get people tagging me. Like, there was a bra campaign years ago that they just posted today, but that video was 2 years old, and they're like, wow. Wait, is that you in a bra? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, but I do a lot of UGC, and like I said, diversify, because you cannot just rely on one thing only. Same as platforms. Remember that TikTok was about to be banned? Which we don't know what's going to happen still, but same, they have Instagram, I have TikTok, kind of Facebook, It's kind of hard to keep up with so many. There's so many. There's Pinterest. There's Snapchat. So,
So for those that don't know, UGC, user-generated content, is when a brand or somebody pays you specifically just to shoot content, not necessarily just to post it on your page or anything, just to submit it to them for content. This seems to be a really lucrative way to go instead of doing social media management.
Yeah, because it's pretty easy and straightforward. I can do it from home. I don't like driving. I'm a horrible driver. Horrible. Even though I drove for Uber, but I have 5 stars on my profile on Uber. I think because I'm a jokester, It's like, you see those 2 posts right there? Yeah, exactly. I think they would rate it for the talk because driving, I suck. I'm horrible. Parking. forgive my husband, but he's an angel. Like I'm like, baby, you want me to drive? He's like, no. But yeah, like UGC, I like it because I can do it from home. I don't need to commute, so it's priceless. Like they give me the script. Oh, I want you to like shampoo your hair with it. So I just do it and I edit it, send it to them, and they're the ones posting it.
Yeah.
They're the ones like it's in their page. I don't have to post anything, and it also doesn't make my page look like a QVC pen channel. So the followers don't get like, what the heck, you know? You're pushing product all the time. So I love UGC for sure. But like, yeah, like I said, I've been struggle with money since I moved to the United States so much that there were times that I didn't have money to eat. I spent like 2 days without food. And I promised myself I would never be, you know, struggling financially ever again. So that's why I do whatever it takes to have a comfortable life, you know? So, yeah.
That's amazing. What are
Yeah.
you selling on Amazon?
All the kinds of stuff. Affiliate links too. I do a lot of affiliate links as well. So if you see my links sometimes, you know, that's
Right.
you.
So right now you have a horseshoe.
Yeah, exactly. That's
reservation
affiliate link as well. I get like few cents per click, but it helps. It all adds up. I get $20 here, $50 there, and it all adds up, you know, for me to make a living. But like I said, I would never go back to the I need to text to use the bathroom life. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll sell pictures of my fingers if you want, or my foot. Not just kidding. My feet are not. I would think it wouldn't make it to the.
Well, you could rate dicks.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a friend that she's on this industry, you know, by industry. Yeah. And it's funny because she rates the dicks.
We've already said queef and pubes and anal, so.
And it's
That was
hilarious
so
because her boyfriend is the one actually doing the messages. So the guy's thinking that they're talking to her, but they're talking to the boyfriend.
He's the moderator.
She like
So he's gotta look at 'em all,
She
too.
she like what is it called? Like she delegated. She splits the. I'm
What a
like
boss.
genius. Yeah.
What a
So
boss.
the guys think that they're talking to her, but they're talking to the boyfriend. I'm like, wow, this is delegation.
Just a big old catfish.
Right.
Oh my God.
Catfish, which is something huge in America that I was like, what the heck is that? Is that a thing? People pretend to be something that they're not. And then I always tell my stepson, he's 10 years old, I'm like, dude, if you start dating someone right away, they ask for money, be careful. Yeah.
That's
Be
wise
careful.
10-year-old advice.
Yeah, I mean,
Can I borrow 50 cents?
planting the seed. Yeah, just planting the seed, you know.
Well,
and
you've seen the completely other side of that.
Yes. I mean, when I was single for 10 years. And pretty much I had like few relationships there, but nothing more than like 6 months. But during this time that I was single, I used to hang out with a lot of the sugar babies. Fun times. Yeah, they would tell me all these techniques, you know, on how to get the man to pay for your trip, you know, just
Wow, that would be an amazing TikTok.
You know, people told me you should write a book about that because, you know, it's kind of like Sex in the City mixed with the Hangover movie. But I have a little bit of writer's block, but I'm working on that. That would be fun.
Wow.
So, you know, it talks about the girls, you know, there was a girl, a friend of mine that used to have this sugar daddy from Palm Springs. And then we would go there and anyway, trying to keep this like
It's too late.
kids friendly.
It's too late.
But yeah, Vegas, it's a fun city. Here's the thing, but I hear a lot of complaints from locals that it's a very hard city to have a relationship or make friends. And I'm like, it is harder than other places. But yeah, there's good people there. Just look for it. But a lot of complaints. I did a poll on Instagram, like, is it hard to find a relationship in Vegas? It was like 70%. It's hard. Everybody here is just fucking around. Everybody here is not taking relationships seriously. And I'm like, okay.
That's true. So many of my single friends just say they hate the
Yeah,
dating scene.
yeah. The mentality. They say the mentality is a little like hustling mentality. It's no longer organic and hey, let's just hang out. A lot of my single friends too. They say like, oh, you want to hang out with me? Oh, can you pay for my time and stuff like that. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but you know, people miss the organic. Like, let's just hang out.
Pay for my time.
Yeah, that's very common. So.
Like an escort.
They
Well,
would
they don't have to do anything.
They would say like, they would say, for example, I'm a bartender and I make $200 a night, so I'm not gonna work tonight to be with you. Can you compensate me for the time, for the money that I'm not making tonight? That would be a good way for them to approach to get that money for the date. So
Interesting.
yeah, they have techniques. They're smart. They're really, really smart.
Any short-term goals for you in the next 365 days as far as for content?
Just keep growing, just keep giving. Like I said, I do this content not for me. I do that for people. I think the most rewarding thing that we can have is a business reaching out to you and saying like, thank you for blowing up my business. Or a tourist saying like, I had an amazing trip because of your recommendations. So I think just growing more and giving more and keep growing my passive incomes. So I can actually, be able to take more, time to help other businesses, because it sometimes it comes out of our pocket when we go to these restaurants. Sure. We still have to tip. We still have to drive there. It takes gasoline. It takes time. It takes editing. I want to take more, but there's so much I can do. I still have bills to pay and my financial responsibilities, student loans. Anyway, so
I think you should just fire back a rate every time, right? Because a lot of restaurants don't still seem to understand that.
That's true. I'm guilty of that because, people say like restaurants don't pay, and I've been taking free meals, and I'm guilty of that. Maybe I should start saying like, hey, it is this much. And I always disclose like if I don't like the place and I don't feel it's suitable for the brand, which thankfully only happened once.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, thank God it just happened once, and yeah, has it happened to you a lot? Like
At
maybe
least
five times? Yeah.
This year.
It's sad because we waste their time. We waste our
Could have
time.
been shooting something else, somewhere else.
Yeah.
Doing anything else, and then you don't have a post.
Exactly. So I feel bad when this happens, but I cannot just like say this is the best thing in the world when it isn't. But at the end of the day, taste is very subjective. So sometimes what you like, I don't like. I've had that so many times. Like, I remember, like, in this podcast, it was mentioned Matikis. I love it. But somebody said that, I got this comment saying that it was burnt. Maybe it was a bad day. We cannot guarantee a good experience. We put our experience out there, but unfortunately, we cannot guarantee anything. And people come after us. Like, I went to that recommendation and it was not good. And I was like, I'm sorry. I can let them know so they can improve. So, yeah.
And it's hard to read sometimes between, I'm not saying Matikis does this, but other restaurants, they'll dress it up more. They'll make it the experience more special for you. But you don't
100%.
You don't know that.
100%.
Right? You just hope it's a regular customer experience.
That happened before. Like I went to this restaurant, which actually I don't think is no longer existed, but they made a special dish for me, and I posted that. But it's
Las
off
Vegas
the menu.
blogger dish?
Yeah, no, it was like something that the chef created right there in the moment, but it was off the menu that doesn't even exist, and people would come like, I want that, but it's like, oh no, that is something that the chef just felt like doing.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I always ask, is this on the menu?
Right.
Because I don't want people to go there and there's like, oh, surprise, whatever you saw, you cannot have it. You saw it, but you cannot have it. Yeah.
So what are a couple things you think people are consistently doing wrong on TikTok that they could change?
Ooh, this is a tough question. I don't think there's something wrong, though. I think there's no limits. Everybody, if you're being yourself and doing what you love, then just do it. Even if it's a negative review. I like negative reviews because here's the thing. I think in a perspective of feedback is a gift. Maybe that's a wake-up call for them to change. But of course, I post a few negative reviews, but I know that they can take the heat. I would never post a mom and pop's struggling, small business, family business, and say, hey, I posted about Buddy V's pizza. That was not good. And it made it to the news, which is hilarious. Like people were showing me like, oh my God, you made an article. And I'm like, oops. But I know he can take the heat because he's huge. And second of all, it's a gift for him to see like, oh, wow, this is not good. Maybe I can improve my product, and be better. So I do very few, negative reviews. So I don't think that's wrong. Nothing is wrong on social media. I feel like there's no limits as long as you're not hurting anybody, like offending, like you piece of shit liar, and stuff like that. Just say, hey, I never criticize Buddy V. I actually love his show, but the pizza was not good. Nothing personal. He's amazing businessman. But that pizza, at least my pizza, maybe. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going into food, as one of the few Brazilians I know in Las Vegas, what are the restaurants that represent your country the best?
Oh, like the Brazilian restaurants here? Galpão Gaúcho, the best. Galpão Gaúcho, number one.
That's at Fashion Show Mall.
Yes, They are so good. The meat is perfection. Then I would take second place is a kind of like a tie. I would say like Texas de Brazil, which is also really, really good. Fogo de Chão and Via Brazil, actually, they're kind of, It's hard,
But how much of this has been Americanized?
Not really. It's
not
pretty
at all?
pretty authentic.
Oh, nice.
Pretty authentic. Yeah, the barbecue is amazing. The pound de queijo, which is the cheese ball, authentic for sure. It feels like home. So I haven't been to Brazil in like 4 years, but I haven't been homesick because every time I feel like I want to have some Brazilian food, I'll just go to Galpão Gaúcho, and I was like, happy. Yeah.
Nice. Have you been to Boca do Brazil?
Love it. Oh, yeah, I should go there once a month, but because I moved to the last neighborhood in Inspirada, it became too far for me. It's like 30-minute drive. Yeah. So I haven't been there, but I love them. The owner, Angela, love you. Te amo, linda, maravilhosa.
Yeah, they've been open for 13 years.
Yeah, I love that they call the owner mãe, which is mom. So, oi mãe, tudo bem? But authentic food. Authentic and affordable, actually. So, because a lot of people don't go to the Brazilian steakhouses because it is a pretty higher, price, but Boca do Brazil is more affordable, super authentic. So, yeah.
Yeah, it gives people a different view on Brazilian food in general.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Americans just think it's just
the meat.
Tons of meats.
But they haven't tried like a coxinha, which is the fried dough with the chicken inside. There's so much. Brazilian pizza is completely different than American pizza. It's just a lot.
That was mind-blowing the first time I had Brazilian pizza. It was there.
Yeah, we put chicken, we put like some cheese on it. We do all the kinds. Speaking of pizza, when I went to Milan, and I have a picture. I'll send it to you later. But I went to Milan. We went to this pizza shop, and it was American pizza. Like, let's try it. They
advertise American pizza.
It was just a pizza shop, and there was like Sicilian pizza. I know.
Okay.
So what do they think about us? So the pizza had French fries and hot dogs on it.
Amano's listening.
Right, exactly. Hi, Amanos. So that's a good idea, the American pizza. So I have the picture of it. It's like thick French fries on the pizza with slices of hot dogs. And I'm like, wow. But it was actually good.
If the fries are good and the hot dog's good, then why wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was actually really good. But I was like, wow, this is what they think of us. We have more food.
That's amazing. And thanks for sacrificing yourself in Milan.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, why not going to try pasta, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I have to see what this is about. So I was like, American pizza.
You featured so many hotel rooms for posts. Where's your favorite place for a staycation?
Wynn. Wynn, I think, is like, first of all, I have a lot of friends that work there. Second of all, impeccable. Oh my God, like I have never met somebody that has had a bad experience there. And I feel like it comes out to details. They're very like perfection when it comes to decor, cleanliness, service, Four Seasons as well, spot on. You go there, you know that they love being there. You talk to because here's the thing, this is what I do. I ask the employees, how are you? Do you like working here? If they say no, I'm like,
Should they even tell you that though?
I mean, but I would never reveal their,
Right.
I would never, ever, ever throw them under the bus. Second of all, I would never like get their names and stuff like that. But I love getting the actual perspective of the people who works there. So there are hotels that I go and they go like, I've been working here for 20 years, never got anything. I got a pin for 20 years. And I was like, oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah, but I feel it's very important to know, the people who work there. It can be the best place in the world, but if people are not happy working there, I'm like, why am I gonna, give, praise to this place? So everybody that I talk to, I love it here. I love it here. It's awesome. My best job ever. EDR is good. The food here is good.
Damn.
Their benefits and stuff. Four Seasons, everybody was happy. So yeah.
Where are your must-go-to places at Wynn?
SW. I even know some people say they don't like the steakhouse. And I'm
How
like,
do you not like SW?
like the gnocchi is so good. And plus it has that atmosphere with the show. It's so Vegas. It's so like over the top. And I love that. Love SW for sure. Oh my gosh, Jardin. Which, are they closed? What's going on? It's a pop-up?
Right, it's a pop-up for Min Kim, who was the chef at Mizumi.
Okay.
And while they're renovating.
Because Mizumi's closed, right, for
closed for
renovations,
renovation, yeah.
which I heard is amazing.
Yeah, Mizumi's amazing. I can't wait to see the redo. The patio's amazing. But yeah, Min's at Hardin now, doing kind of like a Korea-Japanese thing. And we went a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good.
Nice. Like, I've never had a bad experience there. Like, they just remodeled their rooms again. While some other places that I've been, the hotel is falling apart. The wallpaper is like coming off, and I'm like, wow, this is very upstander, like high stand, no English after 1 hour. My brain starts like clashing, like, oh my god, too much English.
We're gonna do the rest in Portuguese now. Yeah.
Right? My brain starts clashing. I'm like, girl, you're talking for too long. In your third language.
So Excalibur is definitely one that you dog on.
Unfortunately.
I'm sure.
But that has a happy ending. That definitely has a happy ending. I had people reached out to me saying, so-and-so works at Excalibur. I'm sending that video to that person that works there so they can improve it and fix it. So that's when the negative feedback, plays a good role. So
I would love to see the staff meetings hotels have had on TikToks. It's got to be crazy. Like Starfish and Circus Circus, you and Excalibur, Ruby and Hooters.
Yeah.
Like, they must all be looking at this like over and over again.
But like I said, there's no such thing as
crazy.
bad feedback or bad reputation. Like, people still go there. Like, for example, when I posted the bad thing about the pizza, but the Buddy V pizza, actually, I'm like, you got to check it for yourself. His sales probably went up because people
totally
really
did.
wanted to see what it really was about.
For sure.
So there's no such thing as like, oh, this is a bad review, let's avoid it. Like, no, I want to see it for myself. And, it actually gets more views or more numbers, more sales. So I don't feel like, negative reviews is actually like a horrendous. I get negative reviews all the time.
Which is amazing because a lot of people don't.
And this is how I improved. Yeah. Like, one time I had somebody say my videos were way too short. And if I was somebody because here's the thing, you gotta always be able to take criticism. I am not perfect. I'm far from perfect.
Yeah.
I hate perfect. I think it's boring. Ugh, perfect. I like being the way I am. You see what you get. And I get feedback like people say, my video was too short. My video was too long. I don't like that narrative. Can you do something another direction? And I'm like, I take that. I am humble enough to take criticism. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm going to make mistakes. And somebody saying that they don't like something, I'm like, how can I make this better? We got to see criticism as an opportunity to make yourself better, not as oh my God, what do I got? I'm so bad, and beat yourself up. Be better. Do something better about it. Like I said, I get criticism all the time about my English and this and that. I'm like, you know what? How can I improve?
This is a fucking tech talk. Yeah. I'm so fired up. And this was the same thing. When we had dinner at Partage the first time, we actually
Oh my God, that was awesome.
So
McKay,
motivating.
yes, Amber.
Yeah.
Mwah, beautiful ladies.
And it blew my mind, the amount of motivation and knowledge you were dropping.
I'm very passionate about motivation and positiveness, which is something that I have with my husband. We have a motivational business, Stealth Elevation. He's a speaker. He's flown the B-2, which is the stealth bomber, the most expensive airplane in the world. He's my biggest idol. He's my hero. And we love making people get out of their comfort zone or getting out of the bottom. And you can do whatever you want with your life. You are up to you. There's no such thing as oh, my life sucks because of this and that. You can still, work yourself up. You can learn a new language. You can learn how to edit a video. A lot of people are like, I want to be a content creator. Do it. Put it out there. My first video was horrendous, disgusting. I look at it, I cringe. But you know what? That's how you start. Nobody starts amazing. We all evolve. We all learn, and Yeah, I'm pretty much that talker.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
but ask yourself better questions. Like I said, people think like, oh, this is a bad review. Is the hotel gonna hate you and not invite you? I'm like, if the hotel sees me as I'm attacking them, which is not, I'm not attacking. I'm showing this so they can either improve and not let this happen again, so people in the future cannot experience what I did experience. Boom.
Boom. While we're still on hotels, then let's. I would like you to rate them from 1 through 10. Since you probably stayed at more, you've probably done more staycations than almost anyone.
Yes, especially during COVID, because first of all, economy was struggling. I've got a 1-suite room at Venetian for $120. That room today is like $700 because nobody was traveling. So I took advantage of that, and I'm like, you know what? Let's help the economy and let's make content and have a staycation. So pretty much all the I don't think I've stayed a lot of them in downtown, but majority of the ones on the Strip. Excalibur.
And I just realized my regret of 2020 is probably not doing staycations.
Right. If we would have like a time machine,
Shit.
it was insane. Like I got room that Venetian room, I would never be able to get it again for $120.
Yeah. Or travel blogging.
Yeah.
At that time, if you had the balls to go to a different country, the flights were probably super cheap.
Super cheap. Yeah. Everything was on sale. The whole world was on sale. So yeah.
Okay, so Resorts World, 1 through 10.
I used to not like Resorts World when they first opened because there was no personality in it. It was kind of boring and flat, but I would give it like an 8.5. Yeah, the rooms are awesome because they're brand new. But yeah, I think it was 8.5. 8.5 is a good rate.
Yeah, they really come into their
Yeah, the casino machines are suck. Ugh.
That's what
Tight.
Brandon was saying that
Tight.
the other day. Nobody's winning.
Tight. Like I haven't heard a single bonus the whole time I was there. I was like, they were tight.
So is slots your jam?
I like slots, but I don't love it. But I do play like $100 here and there sometimes. I should start a slots channel. That would be fun.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying slot influencing is the
Yeah,
next
and it's fun, and people can actually watch it without losing money.
True.
You know,
Very true.
yeah.
The D Hotel.
Actually, not bad. The D, I would give it like a 1. Just kidding. No, I would give it like a 7. There Andiamo.
Andiamo's a nice place. Good value for a steak.
Great value. The rooms are not bad. I just feel like it's a little bit small, but it is downtown. But I'll give it like a 7, 7.5. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Right. Green Valley Ranch.
10.
Over Red Rock?
Oh, fuck, man. It's like choosing a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. Holy shit. I love them both. Ugh. Red Rock's still better.
Okay.
Slightly.
All right.
Yeah, just because it's bigger, it has more, And by the way, they have daycare for kids. If you want to drop off your kids over there, they open until midnight. Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. The Palms.
I love the Palms. They just reopened. The rooms are great. I just got a staycation there. My room was amazing.
Cool.
They're really good at comps. I paid like $100. They gave me 2 free rooms.
I saw that. You do the room tour.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And I just, it was amazing. The pool is nice. The food is amazing. 9.5 out of 10, just because the line for the buffet is huge. I love their buffet, but when they say 3 hours, no.
Yeah, the Wednesday is insane.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when you say you gamble 100 or 150, you got the comp room. So do you have a host? Or do you just put the points in the
Just
card
put the
and then
points.
just go
Yeah.
to the club after?
Yeah, to the club after. And then, a week later, I get the mail.
Okay.
And then they're like, here's a free room. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I probably know the answer, but Bellagio.
Okay, actually, I am. So here's the beauty of experiencing things. The beauty of it is that sometimes what we think a year ago might change today. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try it again because I'm open-minded. I'm super open-minded. There's no such thing as like, this is how I think and that's it. So I got a room at the Bellagio, not paid. I paid from my pocket. So I was like, you know what? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So I tried. It was great. It was great. So I'll give them an 8.75 out of 10 because it still feels a little dated still, but
Some would say classic.
classic, old, vintage. I mean, yeah, but I went there like a month ago. It was actually really good. The room was better. The bed was impeccable. The bed was nice. The pool is nice. The restaurants are nice. I just don't know. Maybe the smell of it is a little outdated.
There's a signature scent
Yeah,
that Bellagio
exactly. And I get it. Some people are emotionally attached to that property because maybe they have memories there, or maybe because of the movie Ocean's 11. But here's the thing, like, that doesn't mean I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing the hotel. But people defend the hotel like it's their mother. Like
right.
when
My
I
last
said,
name's Bellagio.
yeah, like that was my experience. Like Excalibur, there was hair, there was some stains, and I'm like, people got mad at me. Like, I went there, it was amazing. Oh my God, you're so picky. I'm like, I'm just saying how it was my experience. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I use that platform as what I would tell a best friend. You know, I'm not choosing words. I'm just saying as it is. You know, hey, this is what I saw.
That was your experience.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely my experience, you know. But Bellagio, I was really impressed. And I forgot to post about it. I still have the videos at home, but so much better.
And because you were a housekeeper,
Mm-hmm.
how much do you tip at the end when you check out?
At least $5-10 I try, yeah. So it even though in Vegas it's not very common to tip the housekeeper, a lot of people don't. But yeah.
I'll be at a Holiday Inn in Harrisburg. I still.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, we're so blessed. Like we have the best hotels in the world. Like every time I fly out of the state, like I went to Florida and I got like a $300 hotel. It was like not good. For $300, you get something at Resorts World, for so much better.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We are spoiled that way.
Yeah.
Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay, I would say maybe. It's a good hotel. 8.75 out of 10. Really nice hotel. Yeah, just wish it was a little closer, but it's a nice hotel. I had a good experience. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
The wave pool is nice. The wave pool is awesome.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fly through a bunch of random questions before we wrap up. What's one thing that's always in your refrigerator?
Sparkling water.
Any brand, any particular?
Bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bubbly.
All right. Best purchase you made in the last year?
Tesla.
I read a crazy story about a woman living in a Tesla.
Really?
She has a TikTok
What?
where her dog and her cat just live in a Tesla.
Wow.
Full time.
Wow.
Just wild.
I mean, what I like about Tesla is that I haven't been to a gas station in like a year and a half. I just get gas from my house. So yeah, I can afford to go to events. There's no oil change. Hi.
Husband's here.
Yeah. Hi, babe. So we don't have to worry about oil change. We don't have to worry about like maintenance. So it's pretty cool.
Very
Come
cool.
here.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Let's talk about death row meal. What would be your last meal?
Jesus, that's a hard one. Okay, trashy one. Cheap In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out burger.
Oh, what's your In-N-Out order?
Just double. I'm a basic person. Just yeah. Then I love Edge Steakhouse. That would definitely steak. So either from One Steakhouse, Edge Steakhouse, Golden Steer. Even though people hate when I post Golden Steer, another Golden Steer video. I'm like, what can I do? It's awesome. It's the oldest steakhouse in the U.S. I mean, not in the U.S., in Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your go-to Postmates meal at home?
Postmates.
Or whatever. Do you ever get delivery?
Not much.
No?
Yeah, I deliver. Just kidding. I got jokes. I'm horrible. Postmates. Maybe Chinese food. I would do China Mama for sure. God, I love China Mama. I'm so happy they're back. So happy. Yeah.
How do you take your coffee?
Latte. I love lavender coffee. So I would love any coffee from Caffeine Machine, Founders Coffee, or Le Café Duval, or Le Café du Sud. So
Great spot.
yeah. Oh, so good. We were so spoiled. We have like amazing coffee shops.
Sure, you go to other cities. And
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, it's so boring. Like here, we have everything. We have coffee flights. It's amazing.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant off the strip?
Off the strip. Oh my goodness,
Or you
man.
can name two.
Babe, what is it? Our favorite restaurant is like I love Cleavers. Yeah, it's affordable. It's delicious. Well, Herbs and Rye. Which
Rye,
is
Cleaver,
same company.
tree,
yeah. Same tree.
Yeah.
It's my go-to. Americana.
Yes.
So good. Yeah.
Really good.
Marcia Bacchus. Yeah.
What's on your FYP these days?
Motivational stuff.
Is it?
Motivational, positiveness, encouragement, and things like, how can you make your life better? How can you be happier? How can you give more? How can you serve more? Because the joy is in the giving. Actually, there was a research on a book that I read. They grabbed a group of people and they gave them $5,000 and spend it however you want it. Some people went shopping, they got shoes, they got stuff. And they measure, I think it was the serotonin on their brains. It was a certain amount. A week later, they gave the same group $5,000. And now with this money, you're going to do some charity. You're either going to buy somebody a meal or you're going to help somebody with that money. And their level of happiness was higher for longer when you do something better for somebody besides yourself. So I'm very passionate about that. So it's scientifically proven that when you do something good for somebody else, it's actually a two-way street. You're doing good for yourself too.
That's true. Where can I get on that study? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm all about motivation. Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins. So many people that I find inspirational, though. And I'm very inspirational about, I've been an underdog. I am an immigrant. Horrible English that fired myself. No skills. And I am where I am because, I just pushed through, and I always believe you have to believe and, do everything with your heart, and everything will follow.
I love that. And finally, last question. What's the most exciting new thing for you that's opening in Vegas in the next year?
The Dream Hotel, they kind of they ran out of money again.
I think they did, right?
It's like Fontainebleau 2.0.
The dream is over.
The dream is over.
Yeah. I don't know. If it happens, then phenomenal.
Right. I don't know. There's always something constantly growing, though. But MSG Sphere, I think, is going to be iconic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, breaking news, I heard that Venetian's going to start charging for parking. So, because of MSG Sphere, so that kind of makes sense. Allegedly. So, nothing confirmed, but sources have told me that the days of free parking at the Venetian are pretty much gone.
Which means Wynn will probably have to start charging.
That will hurt.
So then we're done.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the secret?
Yeah.
Besides the MGM credit card, what's the secret?
If you're military, thanks for your service. You get free parking at Caesars properties, at other properties as well, which I forgot. But you have to have the free card at Resorts World. Yep. So, yeah. But it's so sad that I feel a lot of people telling me, I don't go to the Strip anymore because they charge for parking. I'm like, I understand because we have the Caesars card because my husband is a former military. Thanks for your service. And the parking was $23. And of course, for us, it was free. I was like, no, my God, $23? Come on. It's scaring people away.
Or maybe just put $20 on roulette.
Exactly. Or validate it. Like if you ate there or you shop there, you can validate your car and you're pretty much for free. But I know that I heard, so allegedly started because people were parking at MGM for free and they would Uber to the airport and leave their cars there for days.
I've done that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that did.
Yeah.
So, so I was like, but just find another way. There are other ways to charge without sacrificing other people. So, yeah.
Great tips. Annie, this was amazing. Love talking to you. And this podcast is just an excuse to catch up, to be honest.
Oh, nice.
And learn more of your story. It's just been amazing.
Just like Partage, remember? We were like, yes, let's post. Life is here right now. Woohoo!
That's what happens.
It's all about the journey. If you're not making your life, worth it, what are you doing? Life is so short to not do what you love and do what you're passionate about. And I always tell people that wanted to get into content creation, post, tag me. I'm going to like your stuff because this is how I started. People took a chance on me. Do it. You never know where you're going to land. You might end up like me where I am today. I never thought that the little girl in Brazil, 7 years old, if you would told her you're going to be in Vegas, you're going to do all this kind of stuff, she would be like, shut up, but you just got to do it. Just fucking do it. Sorry.
Well, this was awesome. Follow at Las Vegas Blogger on all the channels. Thanks for being here.
It was definitely it's always a pleasure seeing you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I always leave enriched, with inspiration, and because this guy's the GOAT. So, yeah, you are one of my inspirations as well, just so you know, like Heather, Talls, you, Lindsay, Unlocked. I was like, wow, this is nice. They're big. And I'm like, this is an inspiration. Some people take it as envy. I see it as oh, this is cool. I want to do that too. This is great.
And you're doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Till next episode. See you when we see you.
Ciao.
Thanks for tuning in to the Las Vegasville podcast. For more information about me and where I've been dining recently, check out my IG and TikTok at Las Vegas Phil. Feel free to text or leave me a voicemail about anything you want, 702-551-4445. Stay tuned as a new episode of the show debuts every Monday morning.